as a member Maduna, I look at that and I say, but this is not how invoices are done. What's going on here? You get the members' difficulty with this way of invoicing, which sometimes looks normal. At other times, you really have to ask someone to explain it to you.
Indeed,
so can you help the member? I'll restart his clock, but I think, but please, yeah.
Perhaps, Chair, in addition, before he answers, if you go to one of the invoices, they even go further in addition to the example that you made, where they say quantity 1, and then they say description, they go and explain that netball patches per set of beeps. You see, at least you know it's a set. There is just one bucket head. One quantity, 11,500. Now, I
do get you, my lord, but indeed, again, I must say, sitting here, I have the benefit of having to look at the correct quantity. But I do get your point, and I do accept your point that this invoice, as it stands, should never have been signed in this way.
We still have some time, Honorable Donut. 1 more minute.
I would make an assumption that there are invoices of the same day, of the 7th May 2025. There are 2 different invoices. I would assume that they were for the same event. Just hoping you have them from Nsingwe. The second invoice is of 322,000.
Indeed, my lord, I have it in front of me.
Were they for the same event? With the one that we're just on now, the one of bucket head of 11,500.
I just want to see the labeling because this one says Interfund Games. I just want to make sure.
The other one says NSD Golfers.
Indeed, looking at this, it says Interfund Apparel for the one, the offending one.
Yes.
And then I do not see the label Interfund here, and I don't want to put myself in a ditch and confirm something which is not. So I am not sure that they're from the same event.
You know, I'm asking. I would be asking a colleague because I see that you have set up fees in all the invoices. And I'm wondering, do you set up twice for the same event? But because you're saying that you're not sure, it's fine. Let us perhaps move. And accepting that we are still having a query of that bucket head of 11,500 and a spot bag of 37,000. I want to check.
Sorry, last question, Honorable Martin. Go ahead.
Yeah, my last question. How much did you sponsor the Comrades Marathon for in total?
Which year? This year. I wouldn't know that figure since I've indicated that I've been on suspension since the 2nd of May. Yeah.
I also don't have the figure in front of me, but the contract itself was for 3 years, and the figure for those 3 years was it over 3 million, my lord. But I don't have the exact amount.
So were you sponsoring it via both your Zinga and Media 360?
So what would have happened in this instance is obviously Media Mix would have done the media buying, right? Media buying, I remember on television that day, realizing that there was a buzz around the Comrades, because that's where you want to be when you want to be part of the topic. For media, for the adverts, I think we paid around 800,000. So again, media.
The 800,000 was to which? to Nzingwa or 360?
No, at Media Mix 360. That was
360,
that was for media buying. So the two of them, one would have done media buying, right? And then in the stands, you had the logo of the Road Accident Fund, accompanied by the comrades. And then you have activations around the comrades, so engagements. So those would have been done by Zinga. So the roles would have been different. They take the route for which they are dedicated. One for producing stuff and getting involved in engagements, and the other one for media buying. So they would both have gotten involved, and indeed they did.
Thanks, Mr. Polela. So,
Lastly, Chair.
Okay. Now, I just want a clarification. You can ask your last
No, you
question.
can, you can ask and
For clarification. So, basically, this is not a sponsorship. It's a buying media space, you are saying, right? So, I'm just trying to, because Honorable Maduna's question on the comrades was about the sponsorship of the comrades, right? So I need you to clarify, because I now understand you to be saying that it's media buying in essence, right? However, you have to produce creative material for placement at the comrades so that it can appear on TV when Honorable Slamlela wins the comrades. So
a very good example. A very good example.
So I just want to be sure that I understand you. Or are you saying there was a sponsorship with the Comrades Marathon Association, and then there was then also creative work done by Zinge, and then media placement by Media Mix 360. I just want to, can you please clarify that terrain, and then Honorable Maduna will ask his last question.
It's a sponsorship, and as part of this package, so we get to place media, and as part of this package, we get to be situated in Changa, which is more or less a halfway point, where we have our team participating in giving water and other drinks and massaging the runners, and for those who are stragglers, feed them potatoes and oranges just to give them strength. So it's part of the package. But when I came in, I identified gaps, I identified opportunities. For instance, on the finishing line, on the stands at the stadium, I was like, we're paying so much money for this package, but we're not there. I want us to be there. And then learning from last year, the senior manager, acting senior manager for marketing, then also identified another opportunity to say, but we don't just need to be haphazard where if the camera faces us, then bingo.
No, I think we get it. I mean, you've answered the question. So okay. Can you ask your follow-up?
Yeah.
No, thanks, Chair. Lastly, I just want to register, because I have the invoices from both Media 360 and Zinga. And one, I see there's a sponsorship fee that you paid of 1.6. There's a broadcasting fee that you paid of 716,000. That was to Media 360. Again, on Zinga, you made a payment of total of 350,000. Now, I want to understand, if you separate the two, what is happening? What is the responsibility of Zinga with regards to the Comrades Marathon, and what is the responsibility of the Media 360 appears to be clear that you took monies of our people who were involved in car accidents, and you sponsored with 1.6 and 800,000 for broadcasting. But on the other one, what is the invoice for regarding the same Comrades Marathon?
It's for the services that are delivered by Zinge. The services that they delivered for that were, as I did mention, we did activations, around the event, but they also would have produced the work that would have been placed by media mix. And my lord, with respect, no, we did not take monies that were due to people who were affected by accidents. We have a budget for it. The budget that we have is quite apart from the budget that is allocated, the 45 billion rand budget that is allocated to survivors of car accidents, as well as the claimants from people who have passed on. With respect, my lord.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to come to Honorable Atkinson. I have important follow-up questions. So I just need to understand, Mr. Polela, so the Road Accident Fund is a sponsor of the Comrades Marathon?
Until the Comrades of this year, yes, the contract has ended.
That's fine. Who has the contract? Is it you as a Road Accident Fund and the Comrades Marathon Association?
It's between ourselves and the Comrades Marathon, yes.
Okay, so it's directly between you.
Between the two of us.
So Zinge have not sub.
No, they're not.
If they've not, I wanted to clarify that
Okay.
at this point. So basically, when there's a Comrades Marathon, there are 3 contracts being activated. There is the contract between the Comrades Marathon and the Comrades Marathon Association and the Road Accident Fund. Then there's a contract between RAF and Zinge, and there's a contract between RAF and Media Mix 360.
Correct, my lord.
So these two are supposed to come together. Okay, that's fine. We will canvass further issues later. Yeah, Honorable Atkinson, your 3 minutes begins. 15. My apologies.
I thought you were going to give 12 minutes to the Honourable Chair, and she would get 27 minutes.
No, apparently you guys agreed that she's getting 8.
We'll see, yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Polela, for appearing before us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much for appearing before us today. I don't want to go into great detail over the invoices. I just want to ask you a number of questions about what led you to actually take this position. But before I do that, there was one invoice from Zinga which has piqued my curiosity, and it's for a so-called fraud prevention event, in which you bought 680 golf T-shirts and 680 cricket hats. So you spent close on R500,000 rand on a fraud prevention event. How would that have helped to prevent fraud, and who were the 680 people who were lucky enough to have got the golf T-shirts and the cricket hats?
It's an internal event, my lord, as I understand it, yes.
680?
If I remember well.
Yeah.
We have a staff complement of around 3,000 and
Okay,
something odd.
all right.
Yes.
So what sort of event was it? I mean, did they go and play golf, or what was the story? Because I see you bought golf T-shirts and cricket hats.
When was this event, my lord?
Invoice date 4th of December 2024. So it was at the end of last year, basically. I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I know about the fraud awareness event, but the particular event, I don't remember what occurs on the day, and I don't want to venture to explain when I don't have the details.
All right, no, that's fine. It just seemed like a lot of money to spend on such an event, R500,000 rand. But I would be interested, maybe if you could just give us a little bit more information about that and bring it to the committee. I'd appreciate that. Mr. Polela, my colleagues have covered these invoices in great detail, so I'm not going to try and do that as well. I'm not going to repeat their work. I just want to ask you some questions about you and your employment at the Road Accident Fund and what led you to go there. How long have you been at the Road Accident Fund for? When did you first start working for them?
On the 3rd of October of 2023, my lord. So we're sitting at 2 years.
Okay. So I think you mentioned the fact that you have attempted to immerse yourself in the fund to understand what it was all about and everything. Prior to coming to the Road Accident Fund, were you aware of all the issues surrounding the fund and the issues surrounding the CEO?
No, I mean, I became aware of it when, obviously, I saw the advert. I decided I was going to apply, and then I started reading extensively about the organization. So before that, no, my lord.
Okay. were you aware of how difficult it was going to be to try and convince people through billboards and potential advertising of the goodness of the road accident fund when people are not getting paid, when there are massive claims, a massive series of claims outstanding, hospital bills not being paid. The point I'm trying to make is that the road accident fund's problems are structural, and until they can actually sort out their business and actually sort out the fact that they're losing the state huge amounts of money through default judgments and through the fact that they're not paying hospitals and everything, as much as you may try to put on events and to put up billboards, it would be very difficult to convince the public. And I see you put out a campaign called I Care. And part of the problem of your I Care campaign, which could be considered to be false advertising, is the fact that you encourage people to come directly to the fund. And what we've actually found is that quite often when people have come to the fund, that their claims actually prescribe in the hands of the fund. So things actually kind of fall apart because there's not sufficient capacity to process things in time in the fund. So the question I'm asking you is, was your spending on that iCare campaign not fruitless and wasteful expenditure and potentially false advertising?
You've conversed a couple of lies, which I don't want to escape this committee, my lord. You're saying that we're trying to convince people to, I paraphrase, to believe in the road accident fund. We have a dual mandate. One mandate is to inform, is to obviously process claims, right? And the other mandate is road safety. So I think I just want to make you aware that we also spend, a sizable amount of money on road safety. Now you're talking about false advertising. We have, since I have come to the Road Accident Fund, had different slogans. Different slogans that we put out. I Care is the one that I found when I got there, right? I Care values. That's where it comes from integrity and others, right? So our advertising is not based on our values. We are basing our work on trying to empower people to how to reach us, how to claim. And in October of 2023, we launched the contact center, which has empowered a lot of people, because before that they were in the dark as to whether their claims were processed, at what age was the claim, whether it was still being processed, and what amount. So all of that needed to be advertised. So it's not particularly focused on one thing. How do I feel about? I feel that we promote false advertising? No. The latest of our slogans is "Your journey shouldn't end in RIP." So I Care is just based on the values of the Road Accident Fund, my lord.
Do you have any numbers of people who actually successfully managed to implement claims and get paid who come directly to the fund, as opposed to through lawyers?
I forgot to canvass that, because you said we promote people to come directly to us. No. Ever since I came, it was made abundantly clear to me that legislation does not, as we sit here and now, allow that. As I understand it, it was a pilot, because sitting here, there are only 3% of people that claim directly. 97% of the people claim by way of lawyers. I myself, because I do get members of the public who ask for my advice, because as you understand, as a face of the organization and a spokesperson, people think that you can solve their problems. So when they ask me, I do want to claim, can I come directly or can I come by way of representation? My advice is always, and I'm honest with them, you need to find a lawyer to represent you. And that's purely based on legislation that says that you need an attorney.
Well, Mr. Polela, I must thank you very much for your honesty, because I actually asked the question. The Road Accident Fund sat here last week for a whole day, and they couldn't actually give me that number. So thank you for coming up with that number of the 3% of the people, actually the people who claim directly, because it was certainly, I suppose, in a sense, implied to us that the number was much higher, and that they were doing everything in their power to get people to come directly to the fund through call centres and phoning members of the public and that sort of thing. So I'm very glad for that number. Chair, did we get that number eventually from the Road Accident Fund of what I asked last week? Did they come back?
We'll have to check with the Secretariat. Yeah.
Okay, but I think Mr. Polela has actually probably helped us in a great way to confirm what that number is at 3%, basically. So, but part of the problem remains that of the 97% that do come via lawyers.
Sorry, Honourable Atkinson, I'll stop your clock. This is this part, and if you are going to go there, please allow me. We have been repeatedly told that the lawyers are the problem. People can claim directly from the Road Accident Fund, right? That's what we've been told. And you are saying that it was made abundantly clear that people need a lawyer. Can I ask, who made it abundantly clear to you?
It was made abundantly clear to me when I presented the strategy to the then acting executive for corporate services that we do not promote direct claims, that I needed to remove it from that because it is not promoted. It was a pilot. The name of the gentleman was Ian Burial. And let's go back to the venue. If